It's another beautiful day for Lakers basketball. Let me fix this real quick because your boy's kind of leaning a little sideways. Let me fix this real quick. By the way, another beautiful day for Lakers basketball here. They are taking on the Houston Rockets. Another game for the Los Angeles Lakers and a chance for them to what? To own the tiebreaker over the Houston Rockets. Now the Houston Rockets are going to be full strength tonight. Alperen Sengun is off the injury report, and if you're the Los Angeles Lakers, you definitely want to face the Houston Rockets when they are kind of at full strength. I know they still got Fred VanVleet out. They don't have Steven Adams, but Alperen Sengun is one of their better players on that roster. So I expect Houston to switch up some things. But let's see how the Lakers can adjust and bring in another different scouting report. Remember, this is basically a playoff scenario. Can the Lakers get on this early 6-game road trip with the 2-0 start? And then, guess what? Our favorite, Deandre Ayton. More news coming out about him. We'll definitely elaborate on what he had to say. A lot of stuff from Dan Wojcicki per The Athletic. We'll get a little deep dive into that. And then our favorite Kendrick Perkins has some stuff that he wants to elaborate on in regards to who he believes is going to be first team All-NBA this season. So, got a nice little preview of the show. So you know what that means. Got to talk about Pechanga Resort Casino. You guys already know the deal. The beautiful Pechanga Resort Casino, and you can play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, the official Native American resort and casino of the Los Angeles Lakers. Skip the traffic. Head on over to Pechanga Resort Casino just off the I-15 in Temecula. Visit pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA for reservations and for more information. Now, Lakers, once again, they are 43-25. The Rockets are sitting at 41-26. Where the standings are at, this could possibly be a first-round matchup for the Los Angeles Lakers. And once again, going back to what we always talk about, who could possibly be a favorable matchup for the Los Angeles Lakers? I'm telling you guys right now, I do believe if the Lakers matched up against the Houston Rockets in the first round, I will give the Lakers a slight edge only because they have guys who can score. Lakers are the only team in the NBA, by the way, with 3 guys averaging over 20 points. And you guys already know who those 3 guys are on that Lakers roster. So if they're the only 3 guys in the entire NBA to average 20 points, and then the Houston Rockets, what we've seen with them and how they have flaws offensively, Kevin Durant's their only primary scorer. I know once they add Alperen Sengun into the mix, it's going to be a different look. But once again, going into this game, and I just want to give you guys a quick perspective and my thoughts, is that the Lakers should try to pick apart Alperen Sengun tonight. He is a fantastic player. He does a lot of great things offensively. He's also a solid rebounder. But he struggles rebounding the basketball. He struggles defending the basketball. Excuse me. He struggles defending the basketball. He struggles getting back in transition. He struggles keeping guys up front. So if the Lakers, knowing what they like to do, they like to get a lot of switches, they like to get the mismatch, this is a game where you need to exploit that mismatch. And the Houston Rockets, I fully expect them to try to offload the ball from Kevin Durant. We might see Amen Thompson bring the ball up. And it's going to be a lot more difficult to try to double team Kevin Durant as soon as he crosses the half-court line. But you can still have a defensive scheme, and you can still have a way to make things difficult for Kevin Durant. Because just because he's not bringing the ball up doesn't mean you can send 2 guys at him and blitz him. Doesn't mean you can make his job difficult and force others to beat you. The Lakers should try to come in with that same type of mindset, that same type of energy and effort, and what? And try to go out there and implement what they did on Monday, carry it over to today, but making the necessary minor tweaks into their defensive game plan. And of course, can the Lakers knock down shots? That is going to be another thing because in that second half specifically, the Lakers struggle from 3. I do not believe Austin Reeves is going to shoot 0 for 8 again. I'm just letting you guys know that as my thoughts. I do not believe he will have another bad shooting night like that. I fully expect these guys to be bought in. And speaking of bought in, got to bring this guy up. Deandre Ayton, a guy that what? When he came out, And he said what? Do we all remember those comments that Deandre Ayton made as far as that I ain't no Clint Capella. The Lakers are trying to have me in a Clint Capella role. Okay, so that happened a couple weeks ago, right? And that was in a time frame where the Lakers were struggling, correct? Lakers were struggling as far as the trio. That narrative is always out there. Can the Lakers beat the better opponents? The trio is not good. Luka and Austin Reeves are better off the basketball court with LeBron James. LeBron James should not be on the basketball court. He needs to take a different role, which he has. He's taking a different role. He's taking a different approach. Not necessarily a role where he still can't be LeBron James, but a role to keep what? Luka Doncic first, Austin Reeves getting his buckets, and then LeBron James being that third best option, you get the most out of this Lakers team. All right, we're on a fully understanding of that, correct? So you're DeAndre Ayton, and you make those comments at a time where the Lakers are struggling, and you just build more attention to this Lakers team, knowing that role players are not stepping up, knowing that they're not getting the most out of their guys, knowing that LeBron James was struggling in that fit, knowing that Luka Doncic and they are trying to find a mix. So then we fast forward, right? DeAndre Ayton, he's played really, really well in these past couple of games, and we praised him. I gave him praise. I said, hell, this is a different version of DeAndre Ayton. This is a version that can help the Lakers team out in spurts, in moments. This is not the DeAndre Ayton where he necessarily needs the ball in his hands. If you play like that, where you go out there and you do rebound, you do run the lanes, you do play hard, you do block shots, then guess what? You can keep yourself on the basketball court. But if you're just so focused on scoring, when you have three guys like Luka, Austin Reeves, and LeBron James who do everything well with the ball in their hands, and all you have to do is be in the right position to score, then guess what, DeAndre Ayton? You don't necessarily have to be effective with the basketball in your hands. You can impact winning in different ways. So that game, I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's just because he matched up against Clint Capella and DeAndre Ayton had a slow start in that game against the Rockets, and Clint Capella was really, really impactful in the first half for the Houston Rockets compared to DeAndre Ayton, who did not wake up late into the fourth quarter. And when he did wake up, you can see the change in how that Lakers team was in those last couple of minutes when he was right there in the right position to rebound the basketball, get a nice dunk. He's Marcus Smart. Once again, I showed you guys a video on Monday. He's pointing at him. Run to the lane. You can get a dunk. There's no one is back there. You have the advantage. And guess what? Gets a dunk. The little things, DeAndre Ayton. So then you fast forward to today, after him making those comments that they're trying to make me a Clint Capella, that is not my role. I ain't no Clint Capella. I need the crunk juice. All this different types of stuff just to get him motivated. Dan Wojcicki from The Athletic wrote an article in regards to DeAndre Ayton. And pretty much, and this is the graphic that we have right here, there's more to the article, but this is the one that has been quoted a lot. Him saying, I just started looking in the mirror and said, yo, bro, you're not that guy. You don't need to be on this team doing that at all. This team, you came here to be the effort guy and close out possessions, rebound, run the damn floor hard as hell, make bigs work, make superstars work. Just a little pause right there, because I'm glad that it came to the conclusion that he's starting to understand and realize that when you have three stars on your team, you don't have to do much offensively. Your job is to rebound, run the floor hard, block shots, keep bigs in front of you, limit them to second chance opportunities. When you do your job like that, you can stay on the basketball floor. There has been games this season when DeAndre Ayton does not have a high motor, and he's sitting there and he's more worried about how many touches he's going to get because he likes to shoot that soft touch around the rim, which he has the talent to do so. But this is not what the Lakers acquired you for. They acquired you to be, once again, how many times do we have to go over this over and over again? You have to run the lanes. You have to be able to outrun the opponent's big man. You have to be able to rebound. You have to be able to defend and block shots and be a rim protector. That is what the Lakers acquired you for. Now, the fact that he's coming out here and saying that, it's a positive for this Lakers team. Look at every single thing that has come out since what? Since winning is starting to happen with this Lakers team. They are 6-0. I mean, not 6-0. They're on a current 6-game winning streak. When you start to win and win in ways that has been convincing and win in ways that has been okay, you're seeing how the difference has been compared to you have your touches. And yes, you can have an efficient night scoring 20, but if you're not doing the other things, rebounding and defending, then what do the Lakers have you on the basketball court for? Because the games in Minnesota where he was running hard, rebounding, and being at the right spot to dunk, very effective. Game against the Denver Nuggets, when the Lakers brought him in overtime, and he's able to hold Nikola Jokic and him on the basketball court, that Denver Nuggets team in overtime shot one for five. As soon as Deandre Ayton came on the basketball court, Deandre Ayton made a big play as far as blocking Nikola Jokic and keeping him out in front. One of the best big men in the league. When you're able to do stuff like that, results show on the winning column. But if you revert back to your old ways, as far as I need the ball in my hands to be effective, then what happens? You start to go back to the old ways, and all of a sudden this team gets disrupted. And for me, this is a big sign as far as him, because you know what this is telling me? That there's been more conversations to be had with this team. We've seen LeBron James and him being understanding that he's like, look, you don't have to explain to me, JJ. I know what I have to do to help this team out. I know what I have to do to keep Luka and Austin Reeves going. I know what I can do being a third best option. And if I'm the team's third best option, then hell, sky's the limit with this Lakers roster. So we get bought in with LeBron James. And you got LaMarcus Smart buying in. You got Luka and Austin Reeves buying in. And then now you finally get the big man that you signed for to fulfill that role. And you get him buying in. This is a testament to JJ Redick probably having a conversation and him telling him, if you do these things, Deandre Ayton, who knows what the ceiling can be. And maybe Austin Reeves' comments as far as him being that X factor, it might be true. Because we're seeing in the results. The Lakers have won 6 straight. And out of that 6 straight, the Knicks, once again, the Timberwolves, the Nuggets. This is just a true sign. The Rockets. This is a true sighting that we are seeing. Just more as far as in the article, he's literally just saying, like, I am having fun doing this. That is literally what he said. I am having fun with it. I am not going to lie. Isn't that crazy? When you do those things and you're actually able to impact winning in different ways. I came on here and talked about it with you guys. You don't have to be that scorer to impact winning. You don't have to be that guy to have the ball in your hands to be very effective on the basketball court. And it's honestly, this is another good sign as far as in this stretch, how the Lakers have been rolling, how teams and the Lakers have been having success because guys are starting to figure it out. The roles are starting to come into consideration. They're starting to find their identity. You have a tough-nosed player in Marcus Smart who's going to exert every single thing on the defensive end of the basketball court and set the tone. All right, cool. You got your identity right there. All right, you got Deandre Ayton. If you just run the lanes, you block shots, you rebound, and you have high energy and motor, all right, we have our identity in Deandre Ayton. That's our big man. He found his identity. And then now you know Luka Doncic is going to have the ball in his hands. He's going to make sure he creates. You know he's going to be in the hands of his first. Big-time shot creator. Big-time shot maker. There's the times where the offense can get stagnant, but they're still working on that. So now you figured out the ball is in Luka Doncic's hands. Then Austin Reeves is going to eat. And then LeBron James being your third best option. We are finally starting to figure out what this identity is starting to become with this Lakers team. It took a while. Did it take a while? It sure did. It took some time. But once again, when you just understand and make basketball simple, good things can happen. We were sitting here all season long trying to figure out, okay, what is this Lakers team? What is their identity? Why can't they beat the better opponents? And all of a sudden, once again, when you start winning, results show in the winning column. And it probably hit him this morning. Like he said, he woke up and he looked himself in the mirror that you're not that guy. That is why the Lakers acquired you for. So now, again, I make jokes of him saying I ain't no Clint Capella, but that is why I came on here and told you guys that that is what the Lakers signed you for. And you literally wish you were prime Clint Capella because he was very effective when he was in his prime with the Houston Rockets in that pick and roll game with James Harden. Can you imagine if that's consistent? Then we're building towards something different. So, got to slow down. Got something very, very interesting that I want you guys in the YouTube chat to react on because I know you guys are always, always very active when it comes to MVP race or who's the top 5 in the league. So let's see what you guys' thoughts on this. But before we do any of that, I have to let my partners at Pachanga give you guys a quick word.
At Pachanga Resort Casino, you can rock and roll, sip and slide, twist and shout. Play your perfect combination at Pachanga Resort Casino, official Indian gaming sponsor of the Lakers.
All right. What is going on? Welcome back to Lakers Talk Daily. Lakers are taking on the Houston Rockets. If they win tonight, they own the tiebreaker with the Houston Rockets. By the way, if they do beat the Rockets, they own the tiebreaker with them, the Timberwolves, and the Denver Nuggets. With the standings and how they are, if the Lakers end up being in a tie as far as a record-wise with those teams, Lakers have the edge over all of them. But once again, they have to take care of business tonight. Because guess what? It's going to be, getting a little more difficult. Tomorrow, I'm letting you guys know right now, I have a feeling that tomorrow is going to be a scheduled loss just because them flying in early in the morning, it's on the second night of the back-to-back. If they have a game where if they have a game like they struggle against the Miami Heat, you guys might not like me for this by me saying this, but I will give them just a little bit of slack. A little bit. I know. I don't want to create that narrative that it's okay to just go out there and roll over. That's not the case. But if they do lose tomorrow night, it's not one of them to like, come on, man, what the hell? Also, the Heat are playing good basketball. And this conversation came up that I want to throw at you guys is that knowing that knowing that the situation happened with Bam Adebayo, and knowing that he got 83 points. And again, you guys have your own thoughts. We all have our own thoughts as into how we felt about that 83 points. I know I'm kind of getting off track a little bit, but this just came to my mind. And knowing that he broke Kobe Bryant's record, he surpassed Kobe Bryant by scoring 83 points. Now, if you're the Lakers, is that a little personal? And I try to get into the mindset. I feel like it's not going to be that personal to them going into the game tomorrow against the Miami Heat. But I do feel like them seeing Bam getting 83 points, that should be a wake-up call like, all right, man, you could put up 83 points against the Washington Wizards. No disrespect. But if you're the Lakers, take pride in that. I'm going to save that for tomorrow. Save that for tomorrow's episode. But I just want to throw that out there real quick, and I want to get your guys' thoughts on that. But once again, they got the Rockets tonight. They got the Miami Heat tomorrow night, and then a couple of days, they got the Detroit Pistons, and then they finish off the road trip in Indiana. Remember, we said this has got to be a road trip where the Lakers got to at least get 4 wins. They got the first one. It's a momentum. Keep on building off it. Come out there right from the start with high energy and high effort. And these clutch wins, the Lakers are starting to figure ways out. Those clutch wins all of a sudden are starting to be the real truth to this Lakers team because their clutch wins have been against good opponents. So, with that, look at you guys in the YouTube chat. Jay says, hell no, go after Bam. Brian said, put Vando in to take out Bam. And by the way, I do believe I should be, in a little quarter zip, in a Nike Tech and be an assistant for the Lakers. Just, I appreciate that compliment in there, because I feel like I would look real nice behind that bench. Can you guys imagine me with a little iPad or, if they go to me in the back and I'm telling you, challenge that, I think I can serve a good role for the Lakers. But shout out Ron for that comment. So now, seeing this conversation and seeing how Luka Doncic has been playing throughout the course of this season. Remember, he is leading the league in points per game. He's averaging 32 points. He's averaging about 7 rebounds per game and 8 assists. So our good friend, Kendrick Perkins, has some comments in regards to who he believes his all NBA first team should be. And he believes, he was on First Take with Stephen A. Smith and said, he believes Luka Doncic does not deserve to make first team over Cade Cunningham, Jaylen Brown, SGA, and Wemby. Now, out of those, if Luka doesn't get the snub over Wemby and SGA, totally understandable. Hell, even Jokic. Honestly, Jokic too. Jaylen Brown, once again, I just want you guys to understand, I am not disrespecting Jaylen Brown. He is having a hell of a season, especially when Jason Tatum was out. This is not a knock on Jaylen Brown. And then as far as Cade Cunningham, once again, he is having a good year, leading the Detroit Pistons into the first seed. His numbers have been showing as well. Cade Cunningham is averaging 9 assists. He's up there as far as points. Let me just fact check this real quick before I throw these numbers out to you guys as far as points. But Cade Cunningham, he is averaging, as I'm looking at it right now, Cade Cunningham is averaging 24 points per game. All right. So Cade Cunningham averaging 24, 5, and 9. Okay. Jaylen Brown is averaging 28, 7, and 5. Cool. Once again, good. And then Luka Doncic averaging 32, 7, and 8. Aren't those numbers a little bit better than those two? Hasn't Luka Doncic been leading this Lakers team all season long? 32 points and being a leading scorer, that's not just something that you just got to overlook. And still having a high assist ratio and still being the best rebounding guard in the league, why not consider him being the first team in all NBA? Shai Gilgeous, he's going to be in. There's no question that he's going to be a first team all NBA. Nikola Jokic, no question that he's going to be first team all NBA with averaging 27, 13, and 9 assists. And Wemby, we know what Wemby is doing out there for the San Antonio Spurs, a Spurs team that we felt that they're good, but they're not going to hit that next level just quite yet. Give them one more year or two before the Spurs reach their full potential. So out of those three, okay, fall back. I will make the argument that if it's not Jaylen Brown, if it's Jaylen Brown getting in, I will give Luka Doncic the edge over Cade Cunningham. I would give Luka Doncic the edge over Cade Cunningham only because he is averaging 32, 7, and 8. And it's not like the Lakers are having it. Again, Lakers are figuring out their season. They're not terrible. Lakers have figured it out. They found a rhythm. The Detroit Pistons, they're leading the East. And it's because of Cade Cunningham. It's because of Jalen Duren. Those guys have turned their whole season around. But with Perkins saying that he doesn't deserve to make first team at all, and I'm not trying to be Lakers biased, the numbers have shown. We always want to talk about stats and numbers. The numbers have been showing for Luka Doncic just as well as, SGA. Luka Doncic is averaging more points than SGA. He's averaging more reboundings and assists. So why not put him a little bit in that race? Again, because why? OKC is number 1 in the Western Conference. And this is the argument. And and then you guys are making that case. I see you guys in the YouTube chat. I don't know. Cade does play defense. Cade Cunningham does play defense. I was in person watching them when the Detroit Pistons came out here in town. And Cade Cunningham, yes, he plays really, really good defense. He's solid. And then Jaylen Brown, there's no question that Jaylen Brown is a good defender. And when he came out here in LA and put his name out there with Jason Tatum out of the lineup, and it sucks because Jaylen Brown does not really get the credit that he deserves, especially with Jason Tatum being out of that lineup. throughout the whole entire course of the season. And the Boston Celtics are still that team as far as, yeah, they don't have Jason Tatum. They got rid of a couple guys. You don't know how this team is going to look like. It's going to be a gap year for the Boston Celtics. And then, no, they just kept on winning, kept on winning, kept on winning. And all of a sudden, they are a top 3 team in the Eastern Conference. So, with all this, I'm reading you guys' stuff in the YouTube chat. I'm giving you guys my opinion. I do believe Luka Doncic should be first team All NBA. So just to kind of read off your guys' stuff, you guys, Kyle Cruz, DeAndre, I think Ant should make it into. Now, Kyle, I'm a big Anthony Edwards fan. Let me just get here and set up real quick. I'm a big Anthony Edwards fan, and I do believe Anthony Edwards will be possibly he will be either second team or third team All NBA. But him being first team over the guys I just listed, I don't see a chance Anthony Edwards being even in that mix. Good play. He's still all-star. He still does a lot of good things on the basketball court. There's no credit. I'm not discrediting Anthony Edwards. But the guys I just listed, I would for sure put Cade Cunningham and Jaylen Brown over Anthony Edwards just for this season. And Anthony Edwards is expected to miss a 1 or 2 weeks. He's going to be reevaluated. He has some injury that is going on right now. And you guys can make that claim that they all be playing defense. I get it. Jaylen Brown plays defense. Cade Cunningham plays defense. Wemby for sure plays defense. But can we really be realistic about Nikola Jokic? Because you put the right pieces around him. Remember, Nikola Jokic, let's not act like he is this top rim protector. He struggles defensively. He's in the right spots a lot of times because he's a really smart basketball player. He does a fantastic things on the offensive end of the floor. He is a really, really good passer for his size. And the fact that he can bring the ball up and take guys off the dribble with his size and he can space the floor out, there's no question. His numbers once again show. But if you guys want to vouch for defense, Nikola Jokic is not the best defender, for being really honest. So, and just to keep on going on, and I'm out. Sorry, this comment had me rolling. D is off his noodles. Anthony Edwards is the MVP. Anthony Edwards, I would really want him 1 year to really take that. And we literally saw Anthony Edwards come into LA. Did we not see Anthony Edwards just come into LA and shot 2 of 15 from the floor? Now, that's not just Luka Doncic playing defense on him. That takes him the credit as far as Lakers team defense and how they're able to keep him in front. But Luka Doncic was out there and still getting more. He was out there putting up more of a stat than Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards could have been a lot more aggressive in that game, but it just went to go show. When it came down to that couple of spurts in that game, Luka Doncic was able to guide that team into a winning path. Not saying Anthony Edwards can't do that. He for sure has a capability to do so, and Anthony Edwards does defend. But we just seen him out here in LA, and he shot 2 of 15, and Luka Doncic had a better overall game than Anthony Edwards. He was able to get high assist ratio in that game. And once again, we just witnessed Anthony Edwards have a bad performance in LA. And this second half for the Minnesota Timberwolves, they had a rhythm heading in before the All-Star break. But if you really look closely to that Minnesota Timberwolves team, they're starting to go like this in the Western Conference. Things can change in the playoffs. I always say that. Remember, we're always talking about Lakers in 5 and all that stuff. But I'm getting you guys interaction. This is all that it is for. I'm giving you guys my ideal and why I believe Luka Doncic should be first team All NBA. We all are entitled to our stuff. I see you guys in the YouTube chat. But as the real focus should be is team first. And the Lakers need to be able to capitalize what they did on Monday night against the Houston Rockets and keep on carrying that momentum. Because this is a big game tonight. Knowing that the tiebreaker can be in the Lakers' favor, knowing that if they beat the Houston Rockets, they will still stay atop in the number 3 seed in the Western Conference and get home court advantage. Take care of business tonight. Keep on getting the right momentum. You got guys buying into your system now when you're JJ Redick. Let's see what the Lakers can do. We got the game tomorrow against the Miami Heat. I will have a special guest on tomorrow, and we will recap tonight's game and then talk about tomorrow's game against the Miami Heat and just keep on rolling with this Lakers season. But for myself and my guys in the back, appreciate them running the operation back there. And you guys in the YouTube chat, always, always, always very grateful for you guys tuning in. But as always, I will be talking to you guys tomorrow. We out.